The bulls are back, baby. Oh, wait, did you think I was talking about Bitcoin pushing past 50K? No. I'm talking about the Web3 gaming bulls. Crypto gaming is where the real money is going to be made in this next crypto bull market super cycle. We've already seen tokens like Mavia, Prime, and Pixels pump harder than my 8-year-old self with a super soaker on a hot day. This trend is going to continue over the next year as we see unprecedented amounts of liquidity entering the markets, and then we ride out that Bitcoin halving supply crunch wave all the way into 2025. To prepare for this massive tidal wave of potential profits, I put together a list of my top 10 crypto gaming tokens that are unreleased but are ready to launch in the next few months. This is your last chance to get in on these tokens before we blast off. It's mission time. Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here, and I'm coming to you from the Gaming Intelligence Agency headquarters, the GIA, and I have a special report for you guys today that goes over 10 upcoming crypto gaming tokens that you need to know about. This is your last chance to get in on these tokens, to research them now and do your due diligence before these things blast off. We're going to jump in today, and I'm going to show you all the intel that we've acquired on these top projects in no particular order. Let's go check it out. Okay, so first up is Persona Journey. This is a brand new NFT collection that is coming from Unagi Games. This is a successful company who already has 2 games out, but they're doing a huge rebrand, right? And so this is kind of the flagship rebranding, collection that they're dropping here. And I love the retro inspired kind of anime looking PFPs that they're dropping. But the interesting thing to note is, they have a really good setup for how to get on their whitelist. This is their website right here, and it tells a little bit about the Persona NFTs themselves. But the really cool thing is their kind of HANA interface, where you can go and get all registered for the whitelist. It's kind of like an AI interaction, which I thought was actually kind of cool. So you kind of put things in there, they tell you questions, you connect your Twitter, and you can earn points to get on their whitelist. Now, the interesting thing about this company in general is that like I said, they have 2 successful games in Ultimate Champions and Ultimate Champions Basketball. These are on Binance, and they are going through this big rebrand, right? So they had a token out called Champ Token, and they are rebranding that to the UNA token. They've raised a good amount of money. They have they're backed by Binance Labs and Polygon Studios. And with this big rebrand, I think the token is actually getting pretty big. Now, it was previously called Champ, and it is on hold from trading right now, so you can't just go swoop this up. But when they rebrand this and they push it all out here, which is coming really soon, you'll be able to, if you have Champ, get a 1-to-1 for that, or be able to get it on exchanges here as well. So I think with this big rebrand and the fact that they already have 2 existing games and these Persona NFTs are coming, we're seeing a lot of hype around them. I think this is going to be a good token and a good company in particular to be looking at here as they continue to push out what they're doing in the Binance BNB ecosystem. We don't see a lot of winners coming from the BNB ecosystem that are really popular here in the West, but I think with this particular PFP collection, I do think that we'll see some traction for some of these upcoming games and for some of their existing games. Okay, up next we have MapleStory Universe. This is like the Web3 component of MapleStory, which is a popular Web 2 game that's already been out for a long time. It's kind of a pixely kind of 2D side-scroller RPG. They've already garnered quite a few fans and a lot of players that have downloaded and played this game. Now, in their Web 3 component that they're launching with MapleStory Universe, they're expanding things, and they're going to be having a token here that launches very soon, where they have teased this here recently in a video they've dropped here on their Twitter, where it shows them creating a character. You're able to jump in for free and create this character, and then actually get to a point where you are going to, one advancement later, right? So you're gonna be able to mint these characters on chain using their in-game token that they've leaked, right? The NESO token. You can see right here that basically NESO deducted how much you've owned, and then using that to mint your character. So we don't have a lot of details on the NESO token at this time, but I do believe, based upon some of the intel we've heard, some of the chatter we've heard behind the scenes, that this token will be coming in the next quarter or 2. So definitely keep your eye on this one, because it could be a big IP jump from Web 2 to Web 3. and that token could definitely be worth getting in on early. Okay, one of my favorites we have here upcoming is the Guns token. Guns is the native token for the Guns ecosystem, and Gunzilla is the team and the developers behind Off the Grid. Now, I've talked about Off the Grid quite a few times in some of my recent videos. I think this is going to be one of the biggest hits in Web3 this year. And outside of Web3, I think this is going to actually garner a lot of attention. They have a lot going for them when it comes to the game. We've already seen people like Dr. Disrespect stream an early test of this game, and it looked amazing. I mean, if you love Cyberpunk, you love shooters, you love TPS games, this is definitely going to be right up your alley. Now, the Guns token is what kind of keeps the whole ecosystem together, right? It allows you to kind of jump into their free-to-play games, and you actually earn tokens while you're playing through different actions, right? So like we said, Off the Grid is one of their main games. If you have not seen this, it looks amazing. Go watch the trailer, go watch Doc play it. I've been trying to infiltrate this game for a long time, and it's been a tough nut to crack. But PvP and PvE type of game. They have a really great look and narrative for the game. This is going to be huge, and this is going to be the main token for this game. Now, not to be outdone, they have a second game that is already out right now called Technocore. I featured this in one of my latest mobile gaming videos, and this is actually a really cool, unique game where you fly around a drone and you can essentially find rare NFT parts and items and combine them together into NFTs that can actually be used in Off the Grid, which is a really cool utility, I would say, right? And once again, you're be able to access the Guns marketplace through the Technocore app and buy and sell these things, right, in Guns right now. So when you kind of look at here's some kind of in-game footage from Off the Grid. It looks amazing. Cyberpunk, lots of really cool guns and weapons. But as you can see here, kind of like, well, how do you earn guns? Like, well, it's the official platform token, but you do it by actually completing different challenges and things, right? Eliminate 5 enemies with a grenade, 0.5 guns. Place first place in a pre-made squad, 10 guns. So I think this is going to be a really great token for those people who love this type of game. But being a big breakout hit game like this, and already having a mobile component that kind of complements what's going on with Off the Grid, I think Guns is going to be a big winner. Now, once again, we don't have a lot of information on anything like tokenomics or supply or date, but we do know that this game in particular, Off the Grid, is in a very polished state. We're already seeing the Guns token being utilized in Technocore. So I do believe we're going to see some tokenomics and TGE event coming either later this quarter or maybe the Q2 of here in 2024. Okay, moving on, we have Star Heroes. I've been playing this game on stream a couple times over the past couple weeks, and I love this game. It is fun, it is fast, it's competitive. It feels kind of like CS2 or CSGO, but in a spaceship. So you're flying around with your team of 3, and you're trying to push this giant, glowing orb to the goal. And it is a ton of fun. It's really one of the most well-polished and competitive games that I feel like I've seen here in Web3 so far. And their token, the Stars token, is actually getting ready to launch really soon. So we've got some insider intel saying that this token is going to be launching here in this quarter. And there is some pretty good utility. So we do have more information about this token, in particular ERC20 token, where you're going to be able to use it for purchasing heroes, leveling up your player heroes, be able to purchase missions for those heroes, and go in to be able to reduce mission time for your heroes. Right, staking is also going to be a part of this token. They said they're going to have governance and be able to have like kind of marketplace transactions with this token. So in particular, they have really thought about the utility, and I think this is actually one of those tokens that is very much underneath the radar right now. I don't see a lot of people out there who are Web3 gaming creators talking about this game, and I don't know why. Because honestly, it's one of the most fun and most competitive games that I've played. So if you like shooters, maybe you like dogfighting games, this is definitely one that you should be checking out. Now, they do have a really good breakdown of the tokenomics with a supply of 700 million. And where they're going and the seed in the different rounds, all breaking down. I love to be able to see this kind of information, right? Versus not giving any of this info, right? We see some projects are like, all right, our token's launching next week. Well, we don't have our white paper out, but we'll get it to you. Don't worry. Trust us. Trust me, bro. Trust me. But that's not the same here with Star Heroes and what they're doing with the Star token. Now, one interesting thing to note too is they are going to be having an airdrop for this, so you can easily jump in to be able to get, like your first step to claim this airdrop before they do an IDO, which, like I said, we believe is coming this quarter. All you gotta do is just come to this website right here and put your nickname in and your email, and boom, you're ready to go. Next on my list is Last Remains. This is a zombie battle royale extraction with shooter elements and survival elements as well. So they're kind of combining all these really cool things that I love into one game, plus zombies. I played this a couple times on stream actually, and they have some open play tests going on every couple of weeks, but they're gearing up to do some bigger things. This game is very polished, and we've seen a lot of good, reviews, and my agents playing this, and people really liking it. I think we're going to see some penetration into the Web 2 market, right? I think this game really has legs and can make it into that Web 2 or traditional gaming market outside of Web 3. Now, they do have a token coming called the ZT token, the zombie token. The cool thing about this, and the thing it's actually pretty interesting, is they have a very aggressive vesting schedule for this token and for people who are investing in different rounds. 4 to 5 year vesting is actually pretty long in comparison to a lot of other tokens. So these things aren't going to be dumped right away by early investors. Now, also very interesting is they very specifically say there is no formal governance for token holders. The token is for pure utility, but it will allow you to kind of influence some of the following of a couple things like voting on prize pool distribution and features for the game and direction, but not any kind of like a direct governance in any kind of significant way. They do say that their aim is to make a non-inflationary game economy. While characters and equipment NFTs are inflationary by nature, they have finite utility and usage lifespans, right? So in contrast to other NFTs, where it's like, okay, I bought this, okay, maybe it gives me advantage, but it has a durability. So essentially that NFT is gonna go poof at some point, right? But the cool thing is, like, you can actually use your NFT characters to play and earn during each game session, and the supply of these tokens is going to be capped at 1 billion, and then there's going to be essentially rewards, right? And they're also you actually have a burn strategy similar to what you see with like BNB. They say that are actually update here pretty soon on how that's going to work. But the ZT token is going to have utility within the game, buying equipment. You can see rewarding people for gameplay as well, which I love, right? Allocating a lot of those tokens and rewards for people who are playing is bullshit. And just the fact that the gameplay and the game itself has already been something that I really enjoy, I think the ZT token is something you guys need to be taking a look at. All right, next up is one of my faves. I've been talking about this game forever. I love the team. I love what they're doing. It's My Pet Hooligan. And My Pet Hooligan has been one of my mainstay games here over the last few years. You've seen me maybe at their studios. I've helped hosted events with them. I have a lot of fun hanging out with this team, and there's a reason, because they are top tier. They have put out some really great, video trailers and teasers. They're working on a full-length film that kind of revolves around this same IP, and the game itself is a lot of fun. They're doing stuff like this. These guys are from X Pixel and Disney type of animation studios. And this is as good as it gets when it comes to cinematics and things in this industry with a unique IP. This is not stock footage, man, and the game feel is just as fun as this actual cinematic trailer is. Now, they have their upcoming IDO for their Carrot coin here pretty soon, and we've gotten a pretty good look at what the Carrot coin is going to do. I've covered this in a couple of recent videos, but it is going to be, I think, a really big token for a game that I really enjoy. Now, they even have their own Twitter for this the coin itself, which I think is really cool. And even the video that they put for the announcement of Carrot coin, how it's going to be kind of this foundation for their ecosystem and what they're doing. Even this thing is good. Man, look how cool this announcement trailer for the coin is. Going to Blue Bob's arcade, and the little kid here, he's got his little Carrot coin and he's heading to the machine, boop, pops it in. So yeah. They also just announced a really big partnership with Superverse. If you guys don't know that is Elio Trades, his like gaming DAO and kind of cross-platform integration, which I think that's a really bullish sign to me as well. And I've already been earning carrots here because all you have to do is have one of their NFTs, and right now they have a soft staking where you're earning carrots just by staking your My Pet Hooligan NFT. And you can see I've earned about 2,680 so far just by staking one character. So I do think that this is going to be one of those tokens that does really well. They have a very, very strong community, and they have some really great utility for this token as well. Now, right now they have they're revamping their white paper, so they don't have that out right now for me to show you guys. But I've looked at previous versions, and I do feel like this is going to be a very solid token to be taking a look at. We're looking at an event for them launching all these details probably later here in February, maybe going into March or into the beginning of Q2, but it is coming soon, and I know this for a fact. Make sure you guys look at Carrot Token because this one is going to be hot. Okay, stepping outside of specifically game tokens, the XBORG token, the XBG token by XBORG, is a gaming ecosystem token, right? Versus how all these other ones we've been looking at are very specific to just one game. This token is actually, the token is going to be powering their entire like ID infrastructure. If you guys don't know about what XBORG is doing, they're very focused on esports, but the idea behind this platform is that it's the ultimate gaming profile and identity, right? It's cross-platform and cross-functionality, you know, amongst all these different chains and everything that you want to have, right? All of your gaming data that is like tied to this as well. And so the token itself is going to be kind of, you know, connected to that, right? The XBORG token. And so right now they have a pre-sale that is coming very soon. So trying to get in on this, now is the time to be looking at this XBORG token. And they have some big partnerships with some pretty big esports organizations already, right? So the token is going to be used for payments and fees, for, you know, doing things on the platform, for doing tournaments, for governments, for incentivization, and for revenue share. It's also going to be for like gated access, and then the gas token for the platform as well. And so they kind of talk a little bit about you know, how they've onboarded 25 of the leading esports teams and gaming brands already in the pipeline. They've had a pretty big raise that has been backed by the community, and this is a pretty good, you know, view of how they kind of incorporate all these things together, right? Multi-chain layers, tournament platform, gaming data, a launch pad for gaming, your social reputation, tournament history, all these things rolled into one, right? So one ID that you can use across all these platforms. So yeah, I think with XBORG, the thing is that, you know, when we look at all the different infrastructure gaming out there, right? Infrastructure for gaming, you look at something like Immutable, how they're doing something similar, right? The Immutable passport and the ID there. I think XBORG has a really good pulse on the esports community, and I think focusing on that element is really what's going to make this a platform that you guys should be taking a look at, especially if you're a gamer and you love competitive games. Now, the XBORG pre-sale is coming here pretty soon, so make sure to look for that, and we know that the token launch is also going to be falling very soon as well. Moving right along, our next game up here is Aether Games. Aether is a TCG that you know, has a really great look to it. Now, maybe if you're familiar with other crypto or Web3 based TCGs, this will look familiar. Things like Gods Unchained, right? Or maybe Parallel. And they're getting ready to launch their token here pretty soon as well, called the AEG token, right? So you can see a little bit here about the game, what it looks like, and some of the visuals, which are really good. Now, the AEG token pre-sale has already sold out, but they have TGE in, you know, in the here pretty quickly coming up. Now, when we look at this, right, so we look at like how is this, you know, actually being used, and what is the whole point of the AEG token on the platform. It is built on Polygon, and it's going to be used for things like as a crafting material, right, to be able to take your cards and craft them, like playing cards into NFTs within the game, which is a very pivotal point to be able to then sell those NFTs in the marketplace. They're also going to be able to use it for staking, get exclusive NFT rewards, right? So if you want like exclusive cards for the game, that's one of the ways they're going to be having that too. They also have this really cool like heirlooms cross-game dynamic NFT thing that you can kind of you know, invest your tokens into, which they don't give a lot of information about, but I love the concept of being kind of like a cross-game thing where it allows you to kind of port them to a different game. And then of course it's also going to be used like in their marketplace and stuff like that too, right? So, you know, the cool thing about this is that, you know, I've got some insider intel about this game actually partnering with a very large IP that has a large book series and also did something on Amazon as well recently. So I think that, you know, with some of these things we're seeing up with their upcoming IDO that's you know, upon us here, and some of those really cool things that we're seeing with those partnerships that they have not announced yet. Just keep that in mind. But they have a late February date for their TGE here for their token. So now is definitely a time to be looking at Aether Games and the AEG token because they are launching very soon. And if you're a card game player, like a TCG player, definitely one of the cooler ones to be looking at. And like I said, with the IP stuff that they're really working on here behind the scenes, I think you guys are going to be surprised on how well this TCG does in comparison to some of the other ones that are here in the Web3 industry. Okay, jumping over to something a little bit more cute and cuddly, we have Forgotten Playland. Now, this is a a social style metaverse that is based upon kind of like a Toy Story-like world, right? What are your toys up to when you're gone, when you're out? And this world and metaverse is all about jumping into that and being able to experience what it's like being a toy and having kind of a social metaverse experience around them, right? So their token is actually getting ready to launch here very soon, the FP token, the Forgotten Playland token. We're looking at a TGE of the 21st of February. And so you can kind of see a little bit about their environment, what they're doing, and kind of the breakdown of the token and how it's going to kind of roll out. It is going to be the native currency for their in-game store, so it's going to focus mainly on cosmetics, but also tournament tickets, right? So you talk about like hosted tournaments within the game, and so players are going to have to purchase tickets for these individual tournaments, and that'll be in FP tokens. And then you can also acquire a variety of like kind of standalone cosmetics in these toy boxes, right? Kind of like a loot box, so you'll be able to buy those with FP tokens as well. I like how very simply they break down the token economics and how they're kind of distributed, right? They have their seed at 25, the contributors and advisors at 25, the game reserve at 20%, and then community incentives at 30%. So, they don't say it here, but with that much being put towards community incentives, there's got to be some sort of play to earn element or airdrop that they're thinking of happening for this token. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on here as we move forward with this, and a little bit past their TGE here coming towards the end of February. They also do a pretty good job of like illustrating the unlocking schedule, the vesting schedule for the tokens as well. And so you can kind of see once again, the community incentives. So there is going to be some sort of kind of like play to earn element here. We can earn FP tokens in this game. But in general, the game itself looks actually pretty cool and very much under the radar. I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about this for whatever reason, but I think the visuals and the look of it, could be really hot, and particular, maybe not going to be something that is really focused on a core Web3 crowd, but I think something they're really targeting to be a Web2 game as well. Now, this is also, they're utilizing Beam technology, and I think that with that narrative of, working with Merit Circle / Beam, having this kind of Web2 focused, playground and metaverse, and then focusing mostly on cosmetics, I think the token actually could do really well and have a main use case where people really want to use this token in game to customize their character. Okay, last on my list is Engines of Fury. This is a game that I featured on the channel before in some early play tests, and now they're getting ready to launch a big play to airdrop campaign that is preceding their token generation that's happening here. So you can see a little bit of gameplay here. It's like a top-down Diablo style kind of looking, but in the future where you're shooting and kind of have this like really cool elements that we've talked about in some of the previous videos, like base building and extraction kind of mode, and obviously it's multiplayer, right? So their Fury token is coming here pretty soon. We're looking at an IDO that is coming up, but the interesting thing is the only way that you can get in on the Fury token before the IDO is through their alpha playtest. It's a one-time chance, right? So it is obviously limited supply, deflationary system they talk about. It has in-game use for like cosmetics, but also for convenience, they say. So I think this is going to be kind of a mobile style where you kind of can pay Fury tokens to advance in a certain way, or to like reduce the amount of time it takes to be able to get in on something, right? To get in on something. And then also liquidity staking here. But in general, Engine of Fury is actually a really fun game. It's very well polished, and I'm excited to actually jump in with my agents for this next alpha test to give all their brand new maps and multiplayer a try, as you saw in this video. I think that, based upon the gameplay we've seen and some of the economic things that we've seen for the Fury token, I do think this actually could be a really good buy here, getting in early. And now is your chance to actually test it out and earn some Fury tokens before they even go to IDO, which could actually turn into some good profit. Okay, agents, there you go. That's 10 tokens that are upcoming. These are unreleased. Some of them are still very much underneath the radar, and we don't have a ton of information, but we're going to continue to gather intel and relay back to you guys as soon as we get it. But now is the time to do some due diligence and some research on the ones we've highlighted today to find out which could be the next big token here in this cycle, because I know at least one of these is going to pop off, and those profits are going to follow behind. Well, that's all we have for today, agents. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.
Secret Agent Stash. Secret Agent Stash.